President Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad passes away in Dar es Salaam. Veteran ITV Radio 1 journalist dies after battling with short illness. And in sports, Simba Sports Club rewarded after AS Vita win in the CAF Champions League. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Nasma Mwembe. Let's get started with the national news. The President of Zanzibar and the Chairman of the Liberation Council, Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, has announced the death of the first Vice President of Zanzibar, Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad, which occurred today at 11:26 in the morning at Muhimbili National Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Following his death, President Dr. Mwinyi has declared 7 days of mourning, with the flag to be flown at half-mast.
Jamaa, chama cha ACT Wazalendo na wananchi wote wa Zanzibar na wa Tanzania, na kuwataka wawe na subira na ustamilivu katika kipindi hiki cha majonzi makubwa. Kwa hakika taifa limepoteza kiongozi mzalendo na shupavu. Aidha, natangaza siku 7 za maombolezo ambapo bendera zitapepea nusu mlingoti. Taarifa zaidi za msiba huu na maziko yake zitaendelea kutolewa na serikali kwa ushirikiano wa karibu na familia pamoja na chama cha ACT Wazalendo. Tumombe Mwenyezi Mungu aiweke roho yake mahali pema peponi. Amin. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Asanteni sana.
Various citizens of Zanzibar have expressed shock and sadness on the passing of the first Vice President of Zanzibar, Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad, whereby this evening the Minister of State in the second Vice President's office, Khalid Mohammed, has also officially announced burial plans, with the body of the deceased expected to arrive in Unguja and later taken to Pemba after prayers.
Ili kuwa na ushiriki mkubwa wa viongozi na wananchi katika shughuli nzima ya mazishi ya marehemu makamu wa kwanza wa rais. Utaratibu wa mazishi hayo utakuwa kama ifuatavyo.
In order to allow people to participate at the funeral of the first Vice President of Zanzibar, the schedule will be as follows. Tomorrow, 18th of February 2021, the body of the late Maalim will be taken from Lugalo Hospital to Ma'mur Mosque for prayers between 9 a.m. to 9:20 a.m. By 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m., the body of the late Maalim Seif will be transported to Zanzibar. We shall expect the body to arrive at Mnazi Moja grounds by 11 a.m. for prayers. Later on, by 12 p.m., the body of the late Maalim will be transported to Pemba Island. Adhuhuri prayers and last prayers for the body of the late Maalim Seif will be held at Gombani grounds between 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. After the prayers, the body will be transported to his home village of Mtambwe at around 2:30 to 3 p.m. The funeral of our beloved Maalim Seif will be held in his village in Mtambwe from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Ni kuenzi yale ambayo alikuwa akiaspire kwamba anataka Zanzibar iwe aina gani. Imagine binadamu ambaye
we have to cherish what he aspired Zanzibar to be. Imagine President's position was taken away from him several times. In the last elections, some of his party members were killed and humiliated, and yet again, he agreed to work with the current government. It is not easy to get such people.
Kwa ajili ya Wazanzibari. Moja ambalo tutamkumbuka maisha Maalim.
We shall forever remember Maalim for his praising unity. We are grateful to God that he achieved it. He has left at times that Zanzibar are united.
Lakini hakuna kitu muhimu ambacho kitakumbukwa zaidi kwa Maalim Seif.
The late Maalim gave priority to unity, humanity, and dignity. We shall forever remember our leader and try to imitate all that he has left for us.
Tutajitahidi kuiga yale ambayo tutayaweza.
President Dr. John Magufuli has sent his condolences to the President of Zanzibar and the Chairman of the Liberation Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, following the death of the first Vice President of Zanzibar, Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad in Dar es Salaam. In his message, President Magufuli requested President Mwinyi to deliver his condolences to the family, the people of Zanzibar, member of ACT Wazalendo, and friends touched by his death, and urged them to remain calm and strong during this difficult period. Following the death of the first Vice President, Seif Sharif Hamad, President Magufuli has announced 3 days of national mourning as from today, February 17th. Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad was born in Pemba in 1943. After completing his secondary school education, he was selected to join the University of Dar es Salaam in 1972, where he studied political science. He later returned to serve his party and government, and in 1984 was appointed as the Chief Minister of Zanzibar. Here are more details.
Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad was born in Pemba in 1943. After completing his secondary school education, he was selected to join the University of Dar es Salaam in 1972, where he studied political science. He later returned to serve his party and government, and in 1984 was appointed as the Chief Minister of Zanzibar. In 1988, he was stripped of all his designations in the party and government for allegedly being found with confidential government documents. In 1991, under the multi-party system, he took part in the first multi-party elections, campaigning for presidency through the Civic United Front Party, CUF. Since then, Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad participated in presidential elections in Zanzibar from 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015 and 2020, but has never won any election. The results of the 2000 elections caused protests on January 28, 2001 that led to deaths in Pemba and some citizens of Zanzibar to flee the country. Maalim Seif agreed to bring his party into first, second and third reconciliation meetings so as to reach an agreement for Zanzibar. From 2010 to 2016, he was sworn in as the first vice president of a nationally united government. However, after the 2015 general elections, a dispute broke out within the CUF party after Professor Ibrahim Lipumba, who resigned as chairman of the party, returned and refuted his resignation, which led to court hearings that saw Maalim Seif move to ACT Wazalendo party. In the 2020 elections, he ran for the presidency of Zanzibar through ACT Wazalendo, which also selected him to be the party's national chairman, and after his party had the opportunity to recommend a name for the first vice president, to which he agreed and was sworn into office on December 8, 2020 for the second time, setting history and changing the political environment in the islands, despite having only held the position for under 100 days before his death.
May his soul rest in peace. Veteran journalist from RTV Radio 1, known for his coverage on environmental issues, nationally and internationally, Vedasto Msungu, has passed away at Morogoro Referral Hospital today after a short battle with his illness. Msungu was admitted at the hospital yesterday due to respiratory problems. Peace. Following the death of the chairman of ACT Wazalendo Party and the first vice president of Zanzibar, the leader of the party, Zitto Kabwe, has said they will ensure they oversee all of the late Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad beliefs, including on democracy and reconciliation politics in Zanzibar.
Pia ni makamu wa raisi wa Zanzibar.
We have lost the first vice president of Zanzibar. There are no words that we could say to party members and Zanzibaris and all Tanzanians on this sad news. But we all belong to God, and to Him we shall return. According to doctors' information, and today morning I was at the hospital where I met a group of doctors who were attending our chairman and our father. He was showing hopes of recovering, but around 11 a.m. his condition changed and he died. This information must have shocked many Zanzibaris, ACT party members and Tanzanians. Let me take this opportunity to inform Tanzanians that Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad groomed us in leadership, that we shall be able to continue his legacy of seeing Tanzania democratic and Zanzibar united.
Akawa amerudi kwa muumba wake.
The government has been satisfied with the strategic farming and expansion of sugarcane farms at Mtibwa Sugar Factory in Morogoro that will help increase production of sugar and stop ordering the commodity from outside the country.
Tumefurahi, tumeona kwamba kuna kazi kubwa inafanyika kwa ajili ya kupanua kiwanda na kuongeza uzalishaji wa sukari. Hasa mambo makubwa yepi tunayachukua. Moja,
a lot has been done to expand the factory and increase sugar production. However, the farmers go through difficult times. Thus, we are calling on our banks to support those with intentions of establishing small-scale sugar processing factories. I am also calling on Tanzanians entrepreneurs to engage in sugar production activities.
Tumefarijika sana na ujio wa Mheshimiwa Waziri ukizingatia yeye ni waziri mwenye dhamana ya kilimo.
We are grateful for Honorable Minister visit because through our leaders' visits, they are able to find out what challenges we face as investors in such big projects, especially at times like this, where we are on expansions and construction of a dam. If power will not be supplied on time, then this dam will not be worth it. That is why we need to work together in achieving such big projects.
Na umeme haujafika, hili bwawa halitoweza kuleta manufaa.
The Ministry of Transport and Works has directed Tanzania Railway Corporation (TRC) to speed up renovation of train wagons due to high demand for them. The directive was given at the handing over 40 renovated wagons from the World Food Programme (WFP).
za TRC kuongeza kasi ya ukarabati wa mabehewa 38 yaliyobaki.
TRC will increase speed of renovating 38 wagons that have remained and more than 600 wagons that were planned to be completed in this year's financial year. On behalf of the government, I would like to thank World Food Programme WFP, who are among our key stakeholders who use rail transport in transporting food items in different places for refugees. Last year, they renovated 40 wagons.
Sema mabehewa ambayo tulikuwa na mabehewa zaidi ya 500, serikali ilitoa pesa mabehewa 200 ambayo
more than 300 wagons needs renovations that we are inviting private sector to give support in renovations and buying of some of these wagons. Almost 600,000 shillings can be used in renovating one wagon, but purchase of a wagon is not less than $70,000. This shows that renovations option is far better than buying new ones.
And that is the end of the national news. International news comes next after the break. And in international news, President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya has sent a message of condolences to the President of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, following the death of the first Vice President, Seif Sharif Hamad, this morning. In his message, President Kenyatta said the death of Seif Sharif Hamad was a big blow to Tanzanians and that will be remembered for his wisdom and contribution to the development of his people and the East African region. On opposition leader in Uganda, Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known by his musician's name Bobby Wine, has filed his complaints at the UN offices in Kampala, calling for intervention of human rights violation in the country.
We have raised this issue with various organizations and we intend to push on because
we have tried to complain about the abduction and killings of innocent people without success. This situation is unacceptable and we will not allow it to continue. More than 3,000 people have been arrested and others living in fear.
Our leaders, supporters and close allies are living in fear.
civil society and human rights organization in Butembo town, the Democratic Republic of Congo, have called on the government and World Health Organization to increase efforts in controlling the spread of Ebola, where 2 people have died from the disease, with other 2 victims hospitalized. After the announcement of the number of affected people under the Ministry of Health, we as women are asking to be assured that violence will come to an end. Since the tragedy was announced on the 6th, we have found 4 patients, 2 of whom are still in treatment in specialized Ebola patients wards, and 2 have died.
Kunako kituo kia afya ambapo tunatunza wagonjwa wa Ebola.
Now over to Europe, where fears over new coronavirus variant have led governments to introduce new measures. In Germany, the national lockdown was extended and new border restrictions have been introduced. For more, let's go to Thomas Sparrow, correspondent with our media partner Deutsche Welle, who joined us from Berlin. So Thomas, Germany leaders announced that they would extend the country's lockdown until the 7th of February, despite the fact that infection and death numbers are consistently going down. How can you explain that?
Well, it is true that infection and death numbers are going down in Germany, as well as the numbers of coronavirus patients in intensive care. The country, in fact, has recorded the lowest numbers of new infections since October, and there are also fewer hotspots in comparison to the end of last year. But, and this is a decisive but, there is growing concern among politicians about coronavirus variants which are considered to be more infectious, and some of which have already been found in Germany. And this is the reason why the lockdown in this country was extended until the 7th of March, although at the same time hairdressers will be allowed to reopen sooner than that, and each region can additionally decide whether to reopen schools. Among Germans, there's also concern about these variants, and in fact, a recent poll revealed that a majority, 56%, are worried about them.
Into perspective for us, is this only a Germany problem? And what is the situation in other countries?
In fact, these variants have been described as a new dimension to Europe's pandemic. Other countries have suffered a lot because of these variants, the UK, Ireland, Portugal, just to name a few. And there is an understanding, which was very evident during the first wave, that the virus does not respect national borders. In other words, that a more contagious coronavirus variant can easily spread to neighboring countries. And that's why Germany, located in the middle of continental Europe, is very much aware of this, and as a result announced border controls with its neighbours, Czech Republic in the east and Austria in the south, to countries with regions that are also badly affected. In addition to this, Germany introduced last month an entry ban for passengers from various countries, including the UK, Portugal, Ireland, Brazil and South Africa.
Meanwhile, how is the vaccination plan going on? And this must certainly be seen as the reason for hope.
Indeed, Germany's vaccination plan is for many a reason for hope, the way out of the pandemic, if you will. And already more than 4 million people have received one of the approved doses. But the plan has been affected by delays, by controversies, and one of the latest controversies involves local politicians jumping the queue in order to receive a vaccine, despite the fact that the priority now is to vaccinate residents and workers in care homes. And this has all opened a debate. Is there a politician bonus? Should they go first? In other countries like the US, political leaders believe that by going first, they will build public trust in the vaccine. But Germany has a more egalitarian approach. National leaders have said they will wait their turn, which means that Angela Merkel is also waiting in line. And some experts are now even calling for offenders, queue jumpers, to be penalized.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for the updates. Until next time. And that is the end of International News. Business comes next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news, large airplanes have started to land at Songea Airport after it was closed for 2 years to pave way for its expansion at a cost of 37 billion shillings, whereby for the first time a Bombardier plane has landed at the airport.
Dr. Magufuli
has uncovered the entire airport, and increased length and width 17 billion shillings has been used to renovate. The airport is now complete to a large extent. We have 2 years since this airport was closed for renovation, and for us, the people of Ruvuma, was using this airport. Just 1 hour and we are in Dar es Salaam. We will be flying on Wednesday and on Sunday. The flight will leave in Dar es Salaam at 7 and arrive at 8:25 a.m. in the morning. The Cashew Board of Tanzania has said that it will organize cashew auctions in Central Region for the first time at the end of February this year and start planting of seedling in Tanga Region.
Kwa sasa hivi mkoa wa Tanga wanaendelea kukusanya korosho zao na tunategemea tutaanza kuuza.
We are currently collecting cashew nut from Tanga Region, and we expect to start selling from the end of second month for about 1,000 tons. Also in Singida region, they have collected enough cashews, but we will also have the auctions in Singida region and the cashews action from Dodoma, specifically from Kongwa and Mpwapwa, but also the cashews from Tabora. The government has allowed fishing activities to resume on Lake Rushwa in Kyerwa district, Kagera region, after they were banned from September 20, 2019 due to increase of illegal fishing practices which had led to depletion of fish species. We had a food challenge, it was hard, and we were afraid our health might deteriorate. We thank God today the lake is open. We're very happy for the government to open this lake for us. People were suffering a lot and children were malnourished. We are very happy. We will deal with all those who will undermine this project.
Hili la rushwa. Tutawashughulikia wote ambao watahujumu.
And that is the end of business news. Sports comes next after the break.
First time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters.
Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lem.
And in sports, Simba Sports Club players have been rewarded for their win against Asvita Club in their first group match of the Cup Champions League season. Here are more details.
It has been revealed that the 27 players who made the trip to the Democratic Republic of the Congo for the match have all been rewarded, with those who featured in the game getting 10 million shillings, while those who were not used pocketing 5 million shillings. A source within the club has confirmed the players were indeed given the token of appreciation when the team arrived from Congo on Monday. Before the match, which was played at Stade des Martyrs in Kinshasa, Simba CEO Barbara Gonzalez confirmed they had motivated the players to win the match and even said they will receive cash awards if they do the country proud by winning the game.
Ghana opened their 2021 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations campaign in style with a comfortable 4-0 victory over Tanzania last night. Here's more.
Precious board double, a sublime Abdul Fatawi Sahaku effort and a late Josefello Barnes strike ensured 3 points for the Black Satellites in the Group C opener at the Stade Municipal de Nouadhibou in Mauritania. The West Africans have jumped to the top of the table ahead of the group's second game between Gambia and Morocco. Ghana coach Abdul Hazim Zito largely kept faith in the side that won December's Wafu Cup of Nations in Benin, adding starting roles to Asante Kotoko goalkeeper Danlad Ibrahim and striker Boa, who won the top scorers award at the sub-regional championship.
Pep Guardiola believes football will experience a rise in COVID cases again as a result of the next month's international break, but has indicated he will not prevent any Manchester City player from traveling. Hear the story.
This month, FIFA announced that clubs were not obliged to release players for internationals in countries that required a quarantine of 5 or more days on return. For elite sports people in the UK, a 10-day quarantine applies after visiting red list countries such as Portugal and all of South America. This means City could order Bernardo Silva, Joao Cancelo, Ruben Dias, Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero to remain at home, but Guardiola said City were not currently minded to do so, even though those players could then miss the game at Leicester on 3rd of April. Positive COVID tests in the Premier League rose during and after last November's international break.
Jurgen Klopp said Liverpool's refusal to lose belief had been rewarded as they took a significant step towards Champions League quarter-finals with a 2-0 away win over RB Leipzig. Here's more.
And Sadio Mane capitalized on poor defensive mistakes by last season's semi-finalists to give Liverpool a commanding first-leg advantage in the rearranged tie in Budapest. Victory ended a run of 3 successive defeats for the Premier League champions, and Klopp praised the mentality of his players for keeping faith in their style despite the recent downturn. Klopp was delighted with the return to form by goalkeeper Alisson, who made a fine save from Christoph Nkunku early in the second half, with the game goalless.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin tonight. Thank you for watching and good night.